if you are a woman and you've struggled with healing after a breakup or after something bad that has happened to you, then I'm here to share with you what I've done to find forgiveness and to move forward and to truly heal and to feel absolutely wonderful about that thing, that situation, that anger, that hurt, whatever it was that happened. So first of all, I want to talk to you about not running away from your emotions and facing them and addressing them and not just forgetting them and placing them down. I know a lot of times that's how we heal. We try to get into another relationship or find other experiences to bring us happiness and joy so that we don't think about the situation that caused us harm or anger or deep pain and resentment. So what you need to do instead is to face that situation, face the reality of it. And the way I found to do that without a lot of pain involved and heartbreak is by playing it like a movie in my head. But before I go into that situation, when I think about it, I want to think about it that I'm just watching characters play out on a movie screen, that it's not me. I take my emotions out of it. And it's not this other person that I have loved or cared for, or, however I feel about that person today. I look at the movie of my life or the reality of that situation and I play it out in my head. And then if I'm still feeling pain or if I'm still feeling discomfort or sadness, I let those emotions out. I have a good cry. You can scream, you can punch a pillow, you can release them any way you need to. But once you release it, really look at the situation for what it is. It's like, can I survive this? Is this something that is, so bad that it's going to wound me for the rest of my life? And usually when we look at it and it's never happened to anyone else, that's usually not the case. We can usually look at whatever has happened and, look at it more logically and say, okay, this was bad, this made me feel bad, I deserve an apology, I deserve respect, this shouldn't happen, it's unjust. We can admit all those things to ourselves, and then we can start letting it go by first, you don't want to have any expectation at all from this. No expectation of the other person. Don't expect an apology, don't expect them to feel bad, don't expect you to be all great and wonderful and move on so quickly and show them how life is without them. Have no expectations of this. The only thing you want to do is heal and move forward and let go and release. So come to this, like, what is the outcome? What do I want? I want to not feel emotions about this particular event anymore. And how can I go about in doing this? So you want to understand the situation. After you understand it, you want to look at the other person and feel compassion or empathy for them. Understand what they must have been going through to do the things that they did to you. And I know that this part is hard, but you can start doing it, and the more you do it, the better it gets. At first it's going to be like, I don't even want to think about this person and them, what they're going through. Who cares what they're going through? Look at how I'm feeling. You'll say all these things to yourself, but you have to force yourself to really start feeling compassion for them. That a person does not behave in an ugly and hateful or resentful, jealous way when they're filled with love and happiness and joy within their heart. They don't do that. Happy people do not treat others badly. So you have to come to that realization that, oh my gosh, this person must have really been feeling terrible, for to do that to another person, to actually be able to live with themselves and do that without an apology and just think it's okay, then something is warped within them. Something is wrong within them. Something they've gone through in life has hurt them, has made them feel that this is normal and it's okay. And all you have to do is come to that conclusion that it's not, that's not okay, and it's not okay, and they don't, and then feel sorry for them and have compassion for them that they don't realize that they haven't come to that conclusion, that this is actually a terrible thing that I've done. So once you can kind of get to that feeling where you understand, or maybe you feel, I feel that they're feeling pain, I can understand that they're feeling pain as well at this, I didn't deserve it, I didn't do anything, I'm not worth it, I'm worth more than that. And you realize those things in yourself is all you need to do. That is really healing, when you feel, hey, I know I deserve better than this. I know that this was unjust. I know I deserve an apology, but I don't need one because I know who I am within inside myself, and I love myself for that, and I love myself for taking the higher road and being able to do this healing and forgiveness. Once you forgive them and once you've kind of feel compassion for what they're doing, then you can keep your boundaries in place. Don't allow them in your life. You don't have to allow them back into your life. You can set up distinct boundaries. If it's someone that you have to have in your life, for instance, an ex-husband or an ex-wife, you know, a parent, a co-worker, then you can do that with boundaries. You just set up things in your life to where you're not letting them in that personal space. You're not letting them in your mental or emotional being anymore. And you know, create those boundaries around you. Once you do that, then you can really let go and release. You say, you know, I've got to let this go. I've got to release this and, you know, see the reality that it's holding you back in some way. And you keep doing that until you feel this suddenly one day you will wake up and you will be like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for that person for what they did to me. They must have been in, you know, you see it from another point of view. You're like, oh, they must have been suffering. They must have had horrible things happen in their life. They've learned something that, you know, life is meant to be hard like this, or we're supposed to be ugly to each other. And I am so glad that I don't feel that way. And I'm so glad I'm above that. And I'm so glad that I will never treat anyone like that again. And you can let go of any resentment or any jealousy or that need for an apology, because, and also say to yourself, I don't need it anymore. I don't need it because I understand that I had a role to play in this and it was meant to happen, and whatever happened, it was a part of my life, and I can look back on it and be thankful that it happened, thankful that I've learned my lesson or lessons from it, that I've grown. Still hold love in your heart. The hardest thing we do, I think, when we are trying to forgive someone is to try to hate them or release this sense of love that we feel and that we've carried all these years, and we try to like push it away and push it down. No, you don't have to do that. You can hold love in your heart. You can look back on the good times and the happy times and all that love and joy that was felt at certain times, and feel comfort in that, and saying that, you know, this was real for me. No matter what has happened now, this was a real experience I had, and I can really embrace that as something that was great in my life. And even though there were bad things that happened around it, I can let those go and instead choose to hold on to the love because I've forgiven and I've healed. And that is where we want to get to. That's where you want to get to. So look up. You can do lots of research. There's plenty of steps that you can do, but that's what I have done to truly find forgiveness. And I have to tell you that when I can wake up and look to this partner that I had that, you know, what at one point I felt broke my heart, and now I can see that no, it's okay. It was meant to be, and that, you know, I still love that experience we had, that part of time, that moment of time, whether it ended badly or not. I still feel love in my heart, and I can embrace that love and know that, you know, I had true love at one point and for that person, and I hold that love still. It doesn't mean I still love them today in a romantic sense, but it means that that love stays in my heart, and instead I give up the sadness and the anger and the resentment and the hatred, and I let all that go because I've allowed forgiveness within. And that's what we have to do. That's what God wants of us. God wants us to forgive. We are forgiven immediately. We find it harder to forgive the other person, then we find it harder to forgive ourselves. So forgive yourself and forgive someone who's done something bad to you. I tell you, it is an amazing feeling once you do. And then you can truly move forward and never have that type of experience again, because that's the goal. We don't want to revisit that type of behavior again because we haven't learned or grown from the situation. We haven't learned our life, our soul lesson from it. So we want to make sure we learn that lesson, we understand it, and that we forgive and let go. I hope this video has helped you, and if it has, please like or comment and share it with someone who you think may need help as well. But live in love and light, and until next video, aloha.